Record. Great, recording in progress. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I have a very, very special guest with me who's very near and dear to my heart, and I feel very honored that she's given her time this morning to the group. So I'd love to welcome and introduce an agent out of our office. Her name is Lindsey Iskierka, and she's come to us. She's been in Coastal for not even a year yet and has seen significant growth with partnering with David Greene. And I'm sure she's going to get more into that. But she has a lot to share with you guys, lots of experiences, especially talking about her specialties. So without further introduction, I love to say, Lindsey, I'm glad you're here via audio, and you'll see in just a second, right?
Yes, I am trying to jump on my computer right now and you'll see me. Sorry.
You're just fine. You're just fine. So while you're jumping on the computer, Lindsey, just kind of give us a little bit about your background. What did you do? Why did you get into real estate? How did you make your way to Coastal? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got into real estate totally by accident, to be totally honest. I didn't think that I would even be in real estate. I had one interaction growing up with my parents when they bought a home. I was very young and they did not have a good experience. So I just had a really nasty taste in my mouth about realtors. I didn't think that this would be a job for me. I didn't really see how. Okay, I'm in the waiting room as myself. Here, someone can let me in. And I'll jump off of this.
Recording in progress.
There we go. Okay.
Here, let me unmute here.
I'm gonna leave on this side.
Continue, remove, and there we go. Let me pin you now. Add pin. There we go. Now we can see you. You look wonderful, by the way, too. Very lovely. So yeah, go ahead, continue. You got into real estate really by accident because they didn't have a good experience, right? Oh, you're muted. Hang on.
There we go.
There you go.
All the morning things. Okay. Yeah. So when I met my now husband, Ryan, he had an interest in real estate investing. And so, I liked the guy and I went to like a seminar and things like that. We kind of learned how to dive into real estate investing. So we jumped into that world. I was already an entrepreneur. After grad school, I was working with kids with autism. I did in-home behavior therapy and I loved it, but I got, burnt out. But I think those skills that I learned, building rapport with families, going to people's houses, making them like you, trust you right away, that carried into my real estate, but I got burnt out. So I started my own business. I was actually a personal trainer at the time, and I didn't have a retirement plan. So we looked at real estate investing and kind of jumped into that world. And then I noticed that people had their real estate license to supplement their investing to kind of help that. But we had a lot of debt. We actually had $40,000 worth of debt from that seminar that taught us how to invest in real estate. So to try and pay, that's a whole other topic. But yeah, scams, don't do it. But I'm grateful for it because we knuckled down and I just said, I have to pay this off. And so I hustled really hard when I got my license. Became Rookie of the Year my first year just for my production. And that kind of catapulted my journey. And so thus far, then I became a mom and things like that. So that's how I got into real estate. It's totally by accident, but I believe that this is actually where I'm supposed to be. And I love what I do.
Oh, that's awesome. And you're great at it. So talk to me a little bit about, obviously investing is kind of your niche and the way that you're growing your business. How did you really get connected to David? Who is he? What is your relationship with him and the team that you guys have formed?
Yeah. So really exciting things. If you told me a year ago today that I would be a partner with David Greene, I'd be like, you're crazy. No way. So David Greene, if you guys don't know, he is a mega agent up in Keller Williams, East County, up in like Brentwood, which is actually Northern California. He has a big platform called Bigger Pockets. So if you guys are into real estate investing or even interested in it, check out Bigger Pockets. It's free. That was a huge contributor to our success as investors. And they have a wonderful podcast. And David Greene is the now host of that podcast. So he started off as like a cop turned agent, cop turned investor turned agent. And so he's a member of the real estate podcast. And I met him because my husband actually applied for his lending team. So that opened the conversation with he and I. We had a conversation, did a couple referrals. It took a couple months for us to both see if this would be something that would work for both of us. But we formed a partnership, I think in April. And that's how I landed at Keller Williams, because I was at another brokerage and was fine, but I honestly felt capped. I was looking for something different. And not, it wasn't a KW office, so capped with them.
Yeah.
I mean, my potential was
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I really could grow, and I didn't know how to take that next step in my business. So then when I met David and that opportunity presented itself, it was perfect. So it's been great. It's been a wild year building a team. Our production is really good. I'm so proud of us and what we've been able to accomplish this year. So that's how I met him. And, for David, he was just invited to Gary Keller's top 100 agent mastermind type of thing. He's a big deal, and that's my mentor, my partner, and I'm very, very blessed, and it's very exciting.
Yeah. Now you have, how many agents? 6 on your team?
7.
Correctly? 7. Yes. 7. Oh, yep. You just got Robert now too. So in a year, from April to December, you went from top producing individual agent to now still top producing. You just capped. Congratulations, by the way, but also running a team of 7. What is that like? How does that differ being from an individual agent to a team agent?
Oh, goodness. So many things change. Your identity changes as an agent. When you are a solo agent, you are doing the showings, the converting, the objection handling, the marketing. I mean, if you have a transaction coordinator, as everyone should, they're taking a piece of it away from you, but it's really on you. You have to manage your time in such a way to maximize it. And you guys know, if you are driving to LA for a showing, that's your afternoon. That's it. You really can't do a whole lot else. You can talk on the phone while you're driving, but you can only actually do so much work. So it's all on you. You have to manage client load. You have to manage the showings, your schedule, time block things as much as you can as things pop up. When you become more of a team leader, you are now you are also trying to provide value to other people. And I do enjoy that part. Before I became managing a team, I like to mentor new agents. But there's a cost, a bit of a cost to it, right? Because I want to give back, I want to help you, but also I have so much time because again, I'm a solo agent. I got to run all the places, and I have 2 young kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. So on top of that, my time is very valuable. So I try to utilize it. So as a team leader, you have to also be okay delegating and letting some of your baby, which is that business that you built, go to other people and let them flourish and let them shine, let them learn. You're there to make sure things don't go sideways and, all that good stuff, but they want to learn. They want to be given things to do. They want guidance. They want coaching and all that. And so you have to step into that role while still trying to maintain your volume and the higher level, like negotiating, objection handling, converting the lead, and then they let them kind of take some stuff off of your plate, but you are still trusting other people to serve you, to serve clients in the way that you expect. It's a mindset shift.
Yes, it's a complete mindset shift, right? You really have to identify what are the core values of your business and how do you partner with people who understand those core values, because we all have processes and transitions in our business, but those things don't change. And that's what's hard to be in business with, is to find people like that. And I think you have and done very well, and your numbers definitely show that success. So, no, that's great. So in a nutshell, Lindsey, what would you say, if you had to summarize your business model, your values, bigger pockets, investing, what would that look like when you're telling your story and your vision to the world?
Yeah, well, I when we talk to clients, I tell them we're the real estate team that I wish I had when I bought my triplex. I had no idea what I was doing, right? We have a really specific skill set that I think a lot of agents will say that they have, or they think that they have, they really don't. When you talk about house hacking, if you talk about rental property investing, short-term versus long-term, medium-term, all these different ways to invest in real estate and reasons to purchase a property, we really have to be good at all of those things and listen to the client and not just assume they want to buy that beautiful home because the kitchen's pretty, and it comes down to numbers, it comes down to analyzing. And so we have to help our clients buy, a deal. They're all looking for a good value and a good deal. But as you guys know, list price is like a starting bid, right? So you have to also help them understand that we're in the market that we're in. We have to compete. We got to be aggressive, but not reckless. So I just say, we're the real estate team that's adaptable to both our clients' needs and the market. We can win in this market. We get our offers accepted. We're very good at it. But we're not going to put our clients at risk in the process of it. And we try to dismantle those concerns when they come to us of like, I hear you have to waive appraisal. I hear you have to no contingencies and cash buyers are taking everything. It's like, well, perhaps maybe other agents are complaining that's the case, but we've had up to 17 in escrow at one time and not one waived appraisal contingency. So we try to, show them that, it's not as scary as it seems. Don't listen to the headlines, don't listen to the horror stories, we can do this and everything. So was that kind of answering your question?
Absolutely.
I went off on a
And
tangent
even just what you said that you had 17 in escrow at one time, none of which waived the appraisal contingency. And I think that's a real knee-jerk reaction to what we can do as realtors is go, this is what they're asking for. Let's remove it. And, you're just proof that with the right culture and the right setting expectations, that it's something that still can be done in this market.
There's more that you can do.
Yeah.
Right. And there's lots of different strategies that we can do as agents to share with our clients that don't put them as such risk, that they're okay to, offer this, but not waive it completely. And if you guys are doing deals right now, appraisals are kind of a sticking point in transactions, not just because of the value, but because they're taking a while to come in or they're messing up and we have a shortened contingency and they're taking 2 weeks to submit it. So that's, we're just trying to make sure that the client is still protected for things that are out of our control.
Mm-hmm. Your team serves kind of all over, even though you're based out of Long Beach. You guys are all up. Where are the areas that you serve?
Yeah, so one of our agents is in Santa Clarita and Palmdale. So we're up in that area. And then we go all the way into Inland Empire, all the way out to like Desert Hot Springs, Joshua Tree. We have people buying short-term rentals out there. And then I have referral partners in San Diego. We're not there yet. We'll probably get to there. But yeah, really all of North LA County. We kind of stop at Ventura County. North LA County, all the way into obviously Orange County, Inland Empire, out to Big Bear, out to, if you see like, one of my associates, Art, he has, Idlewild, Big Bear, 29 Palms, Joshua Tree, Palm Springs, so we're out in that area too. So yeah, we do cover a very wide range, which is why I need a bigger team.
That's amazing. So Lindsey, what's the most important thing you've learned over your years of experience?
One, oh gosh. One thing.
Well, I won't limit you to one. You can just say.
I'm trying to like summarize it maybe into like a couple of points.
Yeah,
so I don't keep you guys here all morning. We have to be adaptable. Right. We have to adapt to the market. I think where agents, especially even like older experienced agents, almost kind of refuse to change. They refuse to change, their beliefs, their how they do business. They don't want to get into social media. They don't want to get into, competing with iBuyers or things like that. And they are kind of avoiding in a way the fact that we do have to change as not just, real estate agents, but as entrepreneurs and as business owners. We have to reflect the expectations of our clients. And that expectation is that we are more available on Zoom. So I do all my consultations on Zoom. Very rarely do we actually meet in person. One, it's, better use of time, honestly, and you guys should embrace that. You can, instead of just a call while you're, whenever, you can jump on Zoom and have a conversation, talk about important topics. You can do consultations on Zoom. Listing appointments, obviously not Zoom, that has to be done in person. But, a lot of things we can do via Zoom. So we have to be adaptable. Another thing too is that, people can sense when you are chasing commission. What I mean by that is if you are working with a couple of clients and, you have like one in escrow, you really need this one to close because you need to go buy Christmas presents or, whatever. And you're like, ugh. And, the client just feels like you are trying to pressure them to either move forward on a house that they don't want or not really listening to their needs, on taking a pulse on them, or if something really does pop up in escrow that, probably should warrant them actually backing out, but you really want them to stay in escrow because they saw, 40 houses and wrote 10 offers and now they're finally in escrow. they can sense when you're just chasing the commission. Serve the people. And if you help that person back out, or if you help that person actually accomplish their goal, you create a raving fan, and that creates referrals. So I think chasing transactions, chasing clients, instead of chasing a relationship, is that chasing the relationship and doing the work without expectation. Usually when we're coming into real estate, we're coming in from some sort of like a W-2 job or some sort of hourly rate where we're like, I do this, I get paid. I do this, I get paid. I perform well, I get a bonus. That's not how it is in real estate. In case anyone hasn't found out, you could be working with a client for, I just closed a client in Huntington Beach like 2 weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving. I helped them look since March of 2020. Now they're a low maintenance client. I showed them a house. They were very specific. Almost every house they saw that they actually wrote an offer on. So they're very low maintenance, but still, like, I supported that journey. They missed out on houses time and time again because they just were not willing to be aggressive enough. But I didn't push them. I told them this is what it's going to take to get the offer accepted. And when they didn't do it, they blame themselves. They didn't blame me because I made my expectations clear of what they had to do, and they didn't do it. But because I never pushed them, they actually are in the house. Like their legitimate address is Pacific Coast Highway. Like they want to be by the beach. You can't get closer than that. They can see the ocean. So this house was worth waiting for. And had I pushed them during our relationship to be as aggressive as I thought they should have been on other properties and not really listen to them, not talk them through certain things, then they wouldn't have the house today. And now they are very, very grateful. So chase a relationship, listen to the client, be adaptable, and keep a system, follow up, do the work without expectation. And I could probably go on, but I'll kind of stop at that.
No, I think those are all really great things and super important. In the chat, I just dropped Lindsay's. Make sure you go on and follow her on Instagram. So speaking of that, Lindsay, as you guys can see on there, when you go to follow her, she has built a fairly large following in her real estate business. Lindsay, any tips or things that you use on social media? Why do you do it? Are you getting clients from it? Where's your head at in relationship when it comes to social media?
Oh, it's a love-hate relationship with social media, right? We don't want to get on there and scroll and think we're working, but it is very important to have a presence on there. People are online more than ever before. People are going to check you out on social media. They want to. Being on Instagram primarily, I'm not on Facebook a whole lot. Things kind of syndicate to Facebook automatically. I'm really not on there much. Instagram has been such a huge lead generation tool and lead conversion tool. If someone thinks that they want to work with me and they follow me on Instagram, usually that seals the deal. And then I just get a DM or a text like, hey, I'm ready. Can we see this house or something, So it's it's a free way to continually drip content of value onto people. Don't just do, hey, I'm showing a house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, blah, blah, blah. Here's the price. You want to say, listen, guys, this is what we're seeing in the market. This just came out, Fed just raised the loan limits again for 2022. Here's what you need to know about it. Or, just different things regarding the market and stuff that people may not have access to if they're not in the business or not working with a realtor, or just no one else is taking the time to share with them. So stories, Instagram stories, I hated it. And I'm still okay with it. It takes practice. I've been doing it for several years now, but it still takes me a while to do the stories where I just try to get on and just provide value. So recently I just did, for example, on the top traits and successful buyers that I've seen this year. What kind of traits do they have to possess in order to have success in this market? I'll do just anything I think is helpful for clients. I ask them, or for followers, I ask them what they want me to cover, and I'll cover that. Doing Q&As, trying to get engagement as much as I can on poll questions. It's just a way for people to almost see how you do business and how you conduct yourself before they work with you. And they can see your success. So do post, offer accepted or just sold, and share the success of the client. And I think the trick is to not tout yourself. I never say, I did this, I got their offer accepted. It's no, congrats to my client who wrote such an aggressive offer. We beat over 20 different buyers and they closed on this home. It was a journey. They stuck through it. They went, so you praise the client and not yourself. Again, people can sense when you chase the commissions, or if you're, arrogant, if you're coming across as work with me, they're going to call BS. They're not going to want to work with you. So be authentic. It's okay to make mistakes on Instagram. Like, they want to see you. So just talk to people on there, provide value, share what's going on, put a little of your personal life in there. Don't make it all real estate. Make them feel like they know you so that they like you and trust you. And that helps to convert them as a client. So yeah, social media is so big. And I tell my agents, I'm like, you know what, use the success of the team as your own, because we're all, we're all a part of it. So if, and I'll share my agents when they close one of their own deals. I'm like, congrats to them. Like that's huge. But that in a way builds credibility for me as a leader, because I'm I'm mentoring them through it. So there's different ways to utilize social media, but I think just getting started is the most important thing, and don't overthink it, and provide value rather than just tout your successes.
Yeah, don't overthink and be really genuine. You're amazing, especially those stories where it's like we see so many times when people want to get involved or tell their stories on social media. It's so canned and planned, right? And it just seems not authentic, especially with someone with your type of personality. So grab the camera, just like Lindsey's doing, and just talk about the market, have those conversations. It seems very, again, conversational when you make those.
Yes. They're getting like a little inside scoop into what's going on in the market, and it's free. And you just can remember, people watch stories more than anything else. So focus on stories more than your posts. It's a really important thing.
I love that. So you're a highly productive person. You're a mom, you run a household, mega team now, you're doing great. What are some of your tips on productivity?
Oh, yes. I think I became a lot more productive when I became a mom, honestly. Because I realized that I have 3 hours while my baby's napping in order to get as much work done as I possibly can. So that forced me to kind of trim the fat, if you would, on what I was doing that made me feel busy, but wasn't really productive. I think a lot of agents like to tout, oh, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. Well, no, you're really just inefficient and unproductive, and so we need to trim what we're doing that's not actually adding to a paycheck. We shouldn't be doing our own marketing. We shouldn't be working on our own website. Don't work on your logo. Don't work on, or if you're doing, I see some agents like spending so many time doing reels on Instagram. So I don't do reels. I don't have time to do a reel, put that thing together. Shout out to people who can. That's going to take me all day, and I'm going to get frustrated. I'll throw my phone across the room. Like, I just want to just simple video. So I try to do as much like things that are actually going to be productive, take less amount of time and everything like that. Setting expectations with the clients, I've had to set boundaries, and I'm okay with that. Like, especially when I became a new mom, I had a little baby and she was in daycare. She was like, 9-10 months old. She was in daycare. If I pick her up at 5:30, she goes to bed at 7:30. That short little window is my time to be a mom. So I would tell people, like, listen, if you really need to get a hold of me, text me, say, hey, it's urgent, and I'll be there for you. But that's really the only 2 hours I get with my daughter. So like I had that realization one day where, a client would just want to call me to vent. I knew they were calling me to vent. It was not going to be productive. I couldn't do a thing about it. And I was giving my daughter a bath, and they kept on calling me. And I was like, I'm giving my daughter a bath. Like, I almost like kind of lost it on them. Like, can you just give me a moment, please? Like, I haven't seen her all day. So setting boundaries with clients is okay. It actually makes us professional. It reminds them that we are human. Don't feel like you have to be at their beck and call all the time. If you do want to answer text late and stuff like that, of course I still do, but they know I'm human. I have a life. I'm a wife. I have 2 young kids. My time is valuable. So setting boundaries is important, but also just being honest with ourselves about, is what I'm doing leading to a paycheck? Am I moving my business forward today? If not, it wasn't successful. If you spent, 3 hours just trying to put something on Instagram or send out like an email blast that could have been sent off to like a VA, or you could have had someone do it. KW has great resources for their agents, or just doing things that don't really matter. I think people assume that certain things for their business are going to actually make a difference, and it won't. Don't design your business card. Like, order the most plain one. You're probably not really going to give it out anyway. Go talk to people about real estate.
Right.
If you're not moving your business forward, it's not productive. So I just really had to be honest with myself about, what am I doing that's taking up the most amount of time? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Taking up the most amount of time, but not actually leading me forward. So I do try to time block. I get my most important tasks done in the morning. So morning is usually escrows. What do I need to get to escrow today? What tasks need to be done? Who do I need to email to ask them to do certain things? Who I need to touch base with? Client follow-up is also done in the morning, because if you wait to do that till later, things are going to happen. You won't get to it later. My morning routine is also very sacred to me. I have a really detailed morning routine that helps set me up for the day. It helps make me productive, puts me in a good headspace to handle whatever's going to come at me for the day. So that's really important. So morning routine is like my sacred time. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours of me time before I get into work. And then first thing in the morning for work, it's emails, important tasks, get that done out of the way so no one's waiting on me to send them something that day. And now I'm just waiting for everyone else to respond. And then, yeah, I think that's been the biggest change for me.
What great tips on productivity. So your morning time that you said is like you, and you've got a routine. Break that down for us. What do you do?
Yeah. Okay. So if you guys have not read The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, highly recommend it. He actually has one for real estate agents. And it's very, very good. So I'm going to sit down now. I love his standing desk, like the desk go up and down. Okay. So Hal Elrod wrote The Miracle Morning. It's a very, very good book. It basically gives you like a 6-step ritual that you can do every morning. You don't have to do everything, but it just basically says, he combines like the top productivity hacks of like the most successful people in the world, combines them into one morning routine. So usually in my morning, I wake up, I don't check my email. Like the first thing, I read every morning. I have my coffee, I read usually some sort of like a real estate book or a business book or a book on leadership, something to get my mind right. And then I try to write a to-do list. What are my most important tasks for today? If other things, kind of get in my way, which they will, right? Life is going to happen. Fires are going to happen in the transactions. But if I still complete these tasks today, that's productive. I did what I told myself I would do. So I make a priority list. I write out a gratitude list every day of things I'm grateful for, because it's very easy in this business to forget where you came from, right? To forget that your problems today are what you were praying for a year ago, right? So just trying to remind myself, starting a feeling of gratitude every day. I do get to the gym. I have to get my workout in. That's like my release. It's endorphins. That's everything for me. It's been a huge part of my lifestyle for many, many years. So I do have to get that in the morning. And then my kids are off to school and then I come in here. So I really try to set intentions of being up like an hour and a half to 2 hours before my kids. If people are waking up with their kids and they're trying to scramble and get them out the door and all the things, and if I haven't had my coffee up before my kids are awake, it's not a good day. So I need my coffee. I want to enjoy it and just set my intentions for that day, and that helps me to mitigate a lot of the like anxiety that I might feel, or feel like I'm constantly behind and I can't catch up. That's not a good place to be in. So morning is the best way to mitigate that feeling.
I love that Miracle Morning. Yeah, we've read it. We've done, but so many of us have read it, but we're not really implementing it to a high level like you are. And I think that's important because it shows all of that, success that you're having in your life to be able to be productive. So that's great. So last little thing, because I know we're running around on 8:30 here. What are you seeing right now in the market? Where do you see it going? Where, talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm sure you guys all get asked, clients saying, oh, I think prices are going to go down because interest rates are going to go up and all that kind of stuff. And my honest opinion, one, I've never been this busy in December. I mean, I not even just for like the team status, but just like the amount of buyers who are like active and like writing offers. I'm like, usually like, hey, I'm trying to take a little bit of a break usually at this time, and kind of calm down. People are out there and they are hungry and they are really motivated to get into a home. They know rates are going up. So I'm telling clients, for next spring, next summer, even just in 2022, they're going to be still going up. They won't go up as frantic. I think we saw like 20% appreciation in some parts of Southern California. That's insane, right? Average over the 30-year span that we've seen, average appreciation has been 8%, right? So we're really high right now. That's not going to continue. We're still going to see prices going up. It just may feel like it's cooling down because it's not as frantic as it was several months ago. We're still selling at 101.5% of sales price in our local market. So Homes are still going over asking price. So as interest rates go up, it's going to level the playing field. You know, it's not, people are not going to be able to afford as much. And the seller might have, you know, instead of 12 offers on the property, they may have 5. Like it's not going to absorb the demand. So prices are not going to go down as a result of that. And I tell clients, just because buyers hope that prices will go down because they just can't understand how it's going so high, just because we want them to go down, or it seems
Oh yeah.
like they have to go down, it does not mean they're going to. And they're missing out by waiting on the sidelines, thinking that they can time the market, thinking that they know better than, you know, people who are in real estate, or, you know, economists who are predicting that prices will continue to go up. Interest rates will go up around like 3.5%. Even it's like 3.7 or 3.8 by the end of next year, which is still very low. I remember, you know, my parents, when they bought their home, I think they had like 12% interest rate, right? Like it's, so
Oh,
they're
yeah.
popping champagne when they got, you know, 9%, like that was very, very good. So 3.7, 3.8 is still very, very good. And we just have to like remind people, like that's still a very affordable home, especially if your home is appreciating at like double the rate that your interest is. That's like free money. You know, so it's kind of silly to think that, you know, interest rates going up is making it less affordable. It's just that it's a way to hedge against inflation. It's a way to hedge against, you know, prices going too high and being unaffordable. But housing is actually more affordable than ever. So therefore, we will not see prices going down. So it's a good time to consider. And I told clients if they have a goal to buy by the end of next summer, I just preface them. I said, you know, if we're ready, I may encourage you to consider moving quicker, only because I want to make sure that the house that you want costs you as little as possible. It's going to cost you more if there's no real reason to wait until summer or the end of next year or whatnot, you know. So it's not me trying to be pushy. It's me knowing that rates are going up, and, you know, it's still going to be, prices will still go up too. So I want the house to be as cheap as possible for you. And it's going to be sooner rather than later. So I went to, I don't know if you guys are Bigger Pockets members, but there's a Bigger Pockets conference in October of this last year. And I went, it was in New Orleans. And there's an economist that was saying that they're not predicting any sort of like a housing dip until 2026. And that would only be in conjunction with the stock market. They're actually thinking more so, housing is more likely not to really dip until 2030. You know, we need more houses built. We need more homes built. We're trying to incentivize homeowners to build ADUs and to utilize those for housing, not for short-term rentals. We need to house residents. And I will not be surprised if like SB 9, SB 10 passing, people subdividing their land and selling off to homes. We'll probably see more inventory pop up, but it's not going to be enough to absorb the high demand that we still see.
Right.
So it's still going to be an increasing market.
I love that. Very well said. And, you know, thank you for sharing. I know everyone on the call got a lot of value from that. Any last words you want to leave with all the people on here?
No, I think just, you know, trust the process, you guys. If you are, you know, really trying to get into real estate and you're having a hard time breaking momentum, a lot of people quit. You know, I've been in a long time now. Well, I mean, a long time, long enough to see people come and go, and who's been successful and who hasn't been successful. I think a lot of people quit right before they're about to have a breakthrough. Because remember, you're doing work without expectation. You can't control when that client's gonna be ready to buy. You can't control if life circumstances happen to a lot of your clients and they need to take a break. And you've been working so hard for so long with them, and you've been generating all this momentum. You can't control a lot of that. So just do the work without expectation and know that everyone has a different growth journey. It doesn't mean that yours is better or worse, that agents were successful than you or not. It really just, it happens different for different people. Some people get, you know, results really quickly. Other people like take a year before they sell their first house, and that's okay. A lot of people quit before they're about to have a breakthrough. So hang tight in there. Know that the work that you're doing is making a difference. You will, you know, you're bearing a lot of fruit, and you'll enjoy that fruit very soon. But a lot of people kind of cut the branch before it bears the fruit. So just keep doing it. Focus on productivity and lead generation and things that are actually going to move your business forward, and just, you know, make it a goal to be uncomfortable and talk to a lot of people about real estate. That's the only way to get clients. So
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lindsey Iskierka. Thank you for joining us. Everyone on the call, what a
Having me.
wonderful day to start our Friday. Great words. Make sure you guys, the recording is going to be available. Go back and rewatch because some of these things that Lindsey just said is literally liquid gold. I'm like, I want to bottle it. I want to replay it when people ask what's going on in this market. What an articulate way to express that. So thank you, Lindsey, so much for your time and for your
Thank you.
leadership. And you guys have a good Friday. Okay. Have a good Friday.
Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone. Reach out to me too if you guys ever need any advice or anything like that. So here to help.
Awesome. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Hallie.